Happening today, Sean Diddy Combs will try for a third time to get out of jail. The music mogul has been behind bars since his arrest back in September for multiple different charges, including sex trafficking. This bail hearing.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs will attempt for the third time to secure his release from jail. The artist and entrepreneur has been behind bars since his arrest in September, facing multiple charges, including trafficking.
Day comes after a judge told prosecutors to destroy handwritten notes found inside Diddy's cell during a planned sweep in that jail. The defense says the 19-page to-do list contained private notes taken during legal conversations. Now, this won't impact today's hearing, but Diddy's defense team believes this could upend the government's case against the star. For more insights, I'm now joined by trial attorney Adante Pointer. Adante, thanks for joining me this morning. Welcome to the show.
Today's bail hearing follows a significant development in the case. A judge recently ordered prosecutors to destroy handwritten notes found during a sweep of Diddy's cell. These notes, totaling 19 pages, were allegedly labeled legal and, according to the defense, contained private communications related to his legal strategy. While this ruling won't directly affect today's proceedings, Diddy's legal team argues that this discovery could undermine the government's case.
Thanks for having me.
So this is one of our big headlines that we've got our eye on today. He's again putting up $50 million for a third go at this. What's the chance that he walks away on bail today, you think?
Well, I think it's probably his best shot. You know, he has a new judge that's presiding over today's bail hearing, a judge which questioned how did the government, the feds that is, get their hands on his private notes, which were supposedly kept in a folder stamped legal, which would make them off limits and hands off to the jailer.
For insight into the case, I spoke with trial attorney Adante Pointer. He believes today might be Diddy's best chance at securing bail, noting that the judge's skepticism about how the government obtained the notes could work in the defense's favor.
Who searched his cell. So because the judge was so curious and made the remark that he was interested in what the government had to say about this, this may be the crack in the door in which would allow Diddy to walk out of jail and fight his case from the streets, as opposed to what he's doing now, which is from a jail cell in Rikers Island.
So tell me how that works, because I found that interesting. They went in to search the cell. They found these notepads of these notes. And apparently one of them says legal, handwritten on it. Does just that written word alone guarantee client-attorney privilege?
Yes, many times when a person is in custody, they're communicating with their lawyers by either writing and or taking notes of the conversation they're having. And when they mark that with legal, that's supposed to essentially be a shield. It's notice to any jailers, any staff, and also to any prosecutors that it's a hands-off policy.
Here's the key issue. During a sweep for contraband, intended to find items like drugs or cell phones, officials confiscated these legal notes, which were reportedly stored in a folder labeled legal. Pointer explained that documents marked as legal are typically protected under attorney-client privilege. Accessing them without proper cause raises serious concerns about fairness, as it could give prosecutors an improper advantage by exposing the defense's strategy.
Because that is essentially allowing the person to incriminate themselves and giving the government a leg up in preparing the defense by being able to spy on the defendant's strategy. So it's a very much a serious situation and something which Diddy's lawyers are looking at to use as an opportunity to whisk him out of jail and allow him to fight this case from the streets.
Yeah, and I know the judge is questioning when legal was actually put on it and if it was after the fact somehow. I want to talk about the raid, or maybe a better word is the sweep that led to this discovery. Diddy's lawyers claim that he was targeted, but according to that jail, Adante, this was a wide search to confiscate contraband. What do you think, and how normal is that?
Jails oftentimes conduct sweeps in order to, as you say, confiscate contraband, and just as a function of making sure the jail is safe. However, here there's a different element involved. Although the sweep was pre-planned, the idea that if you're looking for contraband such as drugs, and cell phones, why are you looking in somebody's folder, assuming that folder was emblazed with the word legal? That's not.
Pointer also highlighted the defense's claim that the sweep wasn't just about contraband, but may have been a targeted effort to gather evidence against Diddy. If proven, this could be a serious breach of his rights and might bolster his case for bail.
They say that could lead to jury bias when this eventually does head to trial. Is that a fair ask on their part?
I think so. Of course, he's been accused of engaged in violent crime, sexual misconduct. But at the end of the day, when this is such a high-profile case, pictures and/or paintings and drawings of him coming in and out of court in shackles, and just the mere reporting of it can potentially taint the jury pool to make him look more dangerous and violent and aggressive than what may come to be as it relates to evidence introduced in the court trial. So I think that's very much a concern. And oftentimes defendants are allowed not to appear in shackles and chains when the actual trial is going on and there's jurors present. And here, because it's such a high visibility case, it's akin to being displayed or bandied about in front of jurors in these shackles, even though jury trial has not started yet.
We know that trial is slated for May of 2025. We'll see if that's actually the case and what happens before then. Adante Pointer, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too as well.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Meanwhile, Diddy's attorneys are also requesting that he not appear in shackles during court appearances. They argue that such an image could bias potential jurors ahead of his trial, which is currently scheduled for May 2025. Pointer supported this request, noting that high-profile cases like this often make special accommodations to avoid prejudicing the jury pool. With $50 for a bail division, Matt headed for the courthouse to see if he could mobilize a turning point. Whether or not Diddy walks free to fight his case from outside jail will depend on how the judge weighs these arguments. We'll bring you updates as the story develops.